It is good. It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be talking about the 5 new dynamic duos added to NBA 2K23 MyTEAM today. Obviously got the Morris twins, Dirk and Jet, the Gary Payton and Gary Payton II, Juwan Howard, Jalen Rose, and then Chauncey Billups and Antonio McDyess. Now, normally dynamic duos aren't that souped, but I'm excited about the Dirk and Jason Terry one at minimum. And even the Gary Payton, I mean, it's going to be hard to run them both together, but it does excite me a little bit. Now, again, make sure to smash that subscribe button. We're on the road towards 110,000 subscribers. Marcus Morris Sr. and Markieff Morris. Let's see what this duo does. Okay. For Marcus Morris, makes him a lot better. And honestly, I'm going to say it, makes the card usable. Now, again, if the SIGs don't get touched, if the SIGs don't get updated, it's going to be hard to use him because he still isn't going to have that great release, those types of things. But he becomes really solid offensively, and defensively, he gets a lot better. So I really like it for Marcus Morris, for Markieff Morris. Here's what you're looking at. And that's the problem. Markieff Morris doesn't get good enough to run, in my opinion. So, I mean, look, in limited and stuff, maybe that could be a useful duo. I mean, if you need to use Suns players, stuff like that. But that's really the only way I see it being that usable. We need Jet to improve a lot. For Jason Terry here, gets guard of Space Critter, Dimer, Needle Threader, gets a little better stat-wise, but it's really not much. And it's kind of a letdown because I really wanted Jason Terry to get quite a bit better. He doesn't. He just gets some gold badges that go from gold to Hall of Fame and a few stat upgrades. That's really it. Now for Mr. Dirk, let's see. Gets back down Punisher, strength goes up, block goes up, not enough to run. And it's really disappointing because Dirk and Jet would be fun. But still, I mean, if you're a Mavericks fan, if you're going to run these cards anyway, you might as well run them together. I'm just saying from the outside looking in, 2K has a chance to make really good, really fun, really useful duos. And we're getting duos that barely improve cards. That is really frustrating, at least as far as I am concerned. Next up, Gary Payton II and Gary Payton for the second year. 3-ball goes up, perimeter goes up, pass perception goes up, gets hyperdrive, challenger, clamps, corner specialist. I mean, he does get a lot better, but here's what you have to think about. Can he play the shooting guard position now? No. I mean, because here's the deal. You can't run them both at point guard, so one's going to have to play the shooting guard position, and I don't think this upgrade does enough for him. Now for Gary Payton, does it make him a lot better? Midi Magician, Dimer, Hyperdrive, gets ankle braces, 3-ball goes up, draw foul, block goes up. Here's the deal. Maybe if they change SIGs. And again, I don't even think a dynamic duo can change SIGs. I think honestly Evos are the one thing that can change SIGs. Have dynamic duos ever changed SIGs? I don't think so. And that's the thing to worry about is, you know, we've covered the first couple of duos, okay? The Morris twins. Okay, then we got Dirk and Jet. Gary Payton II. We got a total of what? 200 stat upgrades? And most of those stat upgrades are in useless spots. I'm not trying to be a strict hater of dynamic duos because I actually like duos, but I miss the days when duos were useful. I mean, I can go back and I think it was like 2K19, maybe 2K20, when I would actually use duos because they were useful. I mean, heck, give us a Galaxy Opal Scottie and Galaxy Opal MJ boost. People might use it then. These are just not it, at least to me. Juwan Howard and Jalen Rose. The Fab 5. Oh my. Oh, here's what I'm talking about. The Fab 5 boost gets back down, Punisher, drop stepper, pro touch, brick wall, rebound chaser, block goes up 10, rebounding goes up a little bit, stamina a little bit, shot close a little bit. But here's what I'm saying. I see 10 to 15 Hall of Famers. Okay, cool. But back down Punisher, drop stepper, and pro touch, which is literally a useless badge. I mean, 2K, man. Come on, give him something, all right? For Jalen Rose here, he needs to become a lot better. Again, maybe for limited, it's useful. 3-ball goes up, speed goes up, lateral goes up, gets a lot more badges. And I mean, for Jalen Rose, yes, he does get a lot better. I'm not going to try to sit here and not admit that, because he does. He gets quite a bit better. But again, it all comes down to this. Does it make them worth using? And no, it doesn't. I mean, I can list 20 other Sapphire players that I'd rather use than Jalen Rose. Heck, even the evoed up Vinny card I would rather use that we saw like a week ago. I know they're not even the same position, but I'd rather use him than this duo Jalen Rose. I'm just saying, these duos so far have not been good. So the question of the day, Can Chauncey Billups and Antonio McDyess save us? Can they save us? Let's look at it, okay? Let's look at it. +3 3-ball. Does get clamp breaker, killer combos, CashNasty's ankle breaker, okay, mini magician. I mean, he gets a little better. I'm not even going to sit here and lie, he does. But my whole thing is nobody is running Chauncey Billups. Now, for Antonio McDyess, gets 11 Hall of Famers. And I got to say, for McDyess, I actually I'm impressed with the duo. I'm not even going to sit here and slander the McDyess duo because it does impress me. I mean, McDyess, let's look at it from the outside looking in. You could run this card at the power forward position and not think twice. The problem is you'd have to run him with Chauncey Billups, and that's, again, I said problem for a reason because that is the problem. Nobody is going to run Chauncey Billups just so they can run Antonio McDyess, and nobody is going to run Antonio McDyess unless they have the duo boost. So that's the real problem with it. Honestly, the best duo today is this Morris duo. And again, Markieff Morris is not a great card, like especially defensively, but he's good enough that you can't run him at the power forward position. And this is the only duo that I look at and say, wow, for limited stuff like that, this could be really useful. Because at least for Marcus Morris Sr., it makes him a lot better defensively. Challenger, clamps, interceptor, workhorse, catch and shoot, claymore. Just gets a lot better in general. Again, when I look at the Jason Terry Dirk duo, there's nothing there that catches my eye for either player that's like, wow, this really helps him out. You know, at least for the McDyess and Chauncey Billups duo, like if you are Antonio McDyess or, you know, a big Antonio McDyess fan, you can now get a really good Antonio McDyess card. There's not really many other players or duos I can say this with. Like Dirk and Jet, there's nothing there. Juwan Howard, Jalen Rose, like could have been better with as many extra Hall of Famers as Juwan Howard got. Gary Payton II and Gary Payton. The problem with that is you have to run both of them at either the point guard or shooting guard position. So when I go up and down all of these duos, there's just, to me, not much here to really look at. I mean, again, if you want to run the Morris duo, I'm not going to sit here and say you can't do that, but I'm just going to sit here and say the only reason I would do that is if there is a limited week, maybe it might be this week, I haven't checked out limited, but something like that where, yes, running 2 rubies at Evo 2 and Ami might be worth it. But the rest of these, again, personally, I don't really see much of. Now, again, if you are a Mavs fan, the Dirk and Jet one you can run. Again, if you want to run, if you're a big Michigan fan and want to run Juwan and Jalen Rose, you can do what you got to do. I'm just saying, for me, there's not much here, okay? And the thing that really upsets me is it would be a perfect time. And I'm not, if you don't even want to give Chet a duo, fine. What about D'Lo and Cat? I'm just throwing out options. What about D'Lo and Cat? What about Marc Gasol and, I don't know, Tony Allen? What about Marc Gasol and Rudy? I mean, you could do a lot of different things. And that's what really gets me. Marc Gasol and Mike Conley, you know, they could do a lot of different things with duos. But to me, they just keep rinse and repeating these trash duos that nobody is a fan of. And that, to me, is not only what bugs me, it really does bother me in general. But you guys can let me know your thoughts on the 5 duos. Morris ones are the biggest W in my opinion. Drop a like on the duo video. Subscribe if you are new. As always, man, I love you guys. And have a blessed day.